lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fanatics Hockey Weekly Auction Ending Watch Party with myself, Jeremy Lee. We got Josh Madigan. It is February the 2nd. Let's bring out Mr. Madigan. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I'm good. We got a big auction tonight. There are some absolute bangers in this auction tonight, Josh, and I think we're all going to wish we had a little bit more money to spend tonight on the Fanatics platform. I mean, there's some cards tonight that you never see. Like, I'm talking 100-year-old cards and 10-year-old cards.
Yep.
It's absolutely staggering, and my goodness, there's some great opportunities here for people to pick up some very awesome, rare, desirable, beautiful, historically significant cards tonight. So we'll have a look at them for sure right away. Let me just start up the Instagram. There we go. Let's get that started up. Recruit some more people over here. Josh, I mean, you know, I ran through this auction. I thought, yeah, I'd like to buy that, and that. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, is it fair to say 3-4 months probably the strongest Fanatics collect hockey auction?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially, you know, at the high end, at the top end of the auction, there's just and obscure, like, and we'll get to some of those shortly. Just to give a hint what I'm talking about, guys, there's a 1924 C144 Champs cigarettes set up for auction tonight, one card at a time. We almost never see them, and this one has, well, the first three. I'm looking at them right now. You got the Vezina, the Malone, the Morenz, and you've got the Stanley Cup card, which surprisingly is here. I'm just going to share the screen right now. These three right here across the top, guys. 1924 C144 Champs Hockey. Here's the Vezina. It's a PSA 4. Here's the Howie Morenz, a PSA 2, and here's the Stanley Cup, a PSA 2. It's at $4,000. It's double these, basically double the other two cards here, and almost triple the Morenz. Absolutely staggering. And I kind of feel like it's gonna be a combination of people who want, more Vezina, more Morenz, and then people who are working on the set. Maybe they're competing on the PSA set registry. Maybe they just want the set. But all the cards in the set, I believe, and I didn't audit it and go through, but if you look yourselves, you will see they're basically all there, up for grabs tonight. The whole champ set. It's really, really cool. I think they're just awesome. But before we get more into the cards tonight, well, actually, I want to stay on the champs for a sec, Josh. I want to ask you, you looked at them? Did they catch your eye? Have you on the Gong Show ever looked at the champ set, the C144s? How do you like them?
Oh, it's super cool. We looked into it. We've dug in a little bit. And two things that kind of stand out to me are, if you're more of like an ultra modern collector, we're used to seeing champs cards in clear cut. Well, now you know why, right? Because they're an homage to this 1924 champs hockey set. And then the other thing too that I find interesting about the three cards that you've highlighted is the Stanley Cup card, where one of the bigger cup chase cards that there is, and most people think of the 1990 Pro Set hologram, but I believe that this is the first time the cup was featured in a card in 1924 here. And
it looks completely different today than it did then, which is a lot of fun. I don't collect cards of the Stanley Cup. I do have the Pro Set hologram because, grew up in the era, of course.
Sure.
I personally don't covet this card for my PC, the one that we'll get to, but we're already at 2 full pages of them. There it is. There's the Stanley Cup right there. These cards aren't numbered, so I don't know what a whole set is, but looks like we've got, so what's that, 48 54, 57, 60. It looks, I'm guessing it's a 60 card set. Actually, let me pull out Bobby Burrell's handy vintage hockey collector book, which you just cannot find anymore, unfortunately. And let's see if it tells us how many cards there were. And it says it's an unnumbered set of 60 black and white cards. So all 60 are available. And as I just shut to the page, but I'm going to go back to it, Bobby in the book, he does, I don't know if you guys can see, but he does have the Stanley Cup card featured here in the book with a picture of it. It's just a really cool set. So all 60 are available. That's just one of the neat things going on tonight, John. And then there's these here. These threw me for a loop. I want to know, and I'm not looking at the most recent comments yet, guys, but whoever has heard of the 1927 La Patrie hockey, the La Patrie hockey set from 1927. These oversized, display cards. I've never seen them before. So there's 1927 La Patries available in the auction tonight. And I think there's some more from later on. Oh, and then it goes right into the 35 O-Pee-Chees, which are pretty cool. But these 1927s, you've got a couple of, who did I see? Newsy Lalonde right there. Like, just look at this image look at the news right there.
Wow.
Instead, let me do this. There we go. Yeah, I mean, look at that. I recognize his face there, going back to his, 19, 10, 11, 12 cards. I love he's in the overcoat, done up on a cold day. Photo number 17. I just don't know what these are. Really, I've never seen them before. I don't know, like this could be an opportunity to pick up some really obscure old historic. There's the Aurel Joliot. There's the Vezina, guys. It's only $250. It's a PSA 1. It's a Pop 1, none higher. Like, absolutely
staggering. Look at that
staggering.
photo with that stick, too. That's pretty awesome.
Totally awesome. Yeah.
Oh, he's got the hat on, the toque. Is that what you guys call it? What is a toque?
It's a toque. He's got his toque on. Yeah. Look at that. Photo number 21. Look at the stick, the pads, the sweater. Oh, La Patrie. Like, what is La Patrie? So I wasn't sure. So earlier today when I was going through, I looked at both of Bobby's vintage hockey collector books. This is the first one. He's got an updated version with fewer pictures, but more card detail. No reference that I could find to this set. And there's another one in this auction tonight that I saw no reference to in Bobby's book either. So I just thought that was really interesting. I'm going to keep going, Josh. I want to go through and just kind of show everybody the breadth. 1935 O-Pee-Chee. We're going to start with 3 cards here. Nothing, really important there player-wise. But look at the colors, Josh. You got orange, green, yellow, pink, right? Like no red. Blue, I guess. Orange, green, yellow, and pink seem to be the colors of the 35 O-Pee-Chee set. As far as important players, Hooley Smith right there is somewhat important. Lynn Patrick, Silvio Manta here, the pink one in the middle. I don't know, they're pretty cool. Paul Haynes, like not a ton of Hall of Famers or important players. Oh, these are so okay. We're done with the 35 O-Pee-Chees. I just want to get your thoughts, Josh. I know we talked about the Toe Blake, I believe, when we did the top cards of the 1930s on the Gong Show recently. What do you think of all these colors? Do you like them as much as I do, the variety?
Oh yeah, I think that's a hallmark of the first half of the 1930s, right? Is that you get with O-Pee-Chee the 4 different colored backgrounds.
Yeah,
the first parallels, Jeremy. Collect the rainbow.
Right? They did them with the 1933s. They did them with the 1935s. I don't think they did them after that, though. Okay, here's another one that I found no information on in Bobby's, vintage hockey collector books. The 1936 Triumph postcards. I mean, Busher Jackson, important Hall of Famer. Roy Warders, King Clancy, Silvio Manta, Eddie Shore. Like, these things are so cool. Who else do we have? Bill Cook. Let's Let's go to page 5. Oral Joliot right there.
Wow.
And then we're into the 51. So these are champion postcards. I think we had triumphs on the last page. Here we have champion postcards. And if I look in Bobby's book, I checked for triumphs. I don't think I checked for champions, but I'm at 1934 as I just look in his book. Yeah, there's like, Triumph is in here. Triumph is in here. Right here. It says 1935 Amalgamated Press Triumph postcards, a set of 10 black and white postcards, each measuring 4x6. So that's pretty cool. He does have these Triumph. Oh, and then I think he has the champions as well. Is that what they were called? Yeah, he has them. Okay. So Bobby does have them both. They're called Amalgamated Press Champion postcards, or Amalgamated Press Triumph postcards. So Bobby, I'm glad, has those two, but I never found those La Patries in here, and maybe I didn't look properly, but I guess the point of talking about whether they're in the book or not is just to highlight how rare and maybe unknown these items were, maybe until recently. I don't know. I just feel like I've never seen them. What is that like, Josh? What do you think about that? Maybe, we're looking at cards for the first time here in some cases.
Yeah, and I think that it's really cool. I'm not totally surprised that the values aren't higher, because part of something being valuable is people generally understanding what it is. And when you're stumped on stuff like this, that probably makes it very rare. And, is it a financial opportunity? Oh, who knows? But it's an opportunity to own, to be with a bunch of buddies at the expo or something like that, and pull it out and say, I bet you never seen this before.
Oh, exactly. Like the Eddie Shore here. Let's have a look at the population. I'm just going to pull out the PSA app on my phone here, and I'm going to enter the cert number here, which looks to be 918. Oh, let's make this bigger. 918-45714. And I'm going to verify it. It's going to pull out. This should give me a picture of the item as well. So this, as you can see here, comes up on my phone. It's a Pop 7 with 11 higher. So these Triumph postcards, it just tells me they're, not super, super rare, but I'm kind of curious what the overall population is of the card, not just in PSA 4 or higher. So as I drill into the set itself and I scroll, there's the Eddie Shore, 24 copies total, 24 submissions ever of this Eddie Shore card right here, which I think probably makes this, I'm guessing makes this his rarest card to find of the 1930s in a PSA slab. It's oversized, of course, which I'm not a huge fan of. Like, this is legit a postcard, right? You can see right here, supplement to the Triumph, Eddie Shore, Boston Bruins. Oh, it's so cool. It is so cool.
Do you use a multiplier to try to think of what are the total of these that have survived and are left in existence? So if there's 24 or whatever at PSA, do you multiply by 3 or something like that?
For how many are actually in existence on the planet?
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't know that number. I would not multiply by that much though. I don't think, Josh. I think my multiplier would be quite a bit lower than 3, and maybe I'm way off. Maybe it's 10, but I feel like sure there are still finds out there to be discovered by by professional and non-professional sports card treasure hunters. But I feel like we've had grading now for 35 years. Kind of feel like most are. So maybe I would, at most I would do a 2 multiplier, but I mean, Josh, for all we know, it could be anywhere from 1.5 to 25. I really have no idea. It's an interesting point. Do you think that way? Like, do you have a rule of thumb or a guesstimate that you use for certain things?
I used to work in public relations, and there was this, the Newspaper Association of America used to have this kind of marketing stat. They said that there was a 8x multiplier, that for every newspaper printed was read on average by 8 people, which I always thought was a load of hooey, because you really break that down. And so I think that's where my question sort of came from, was is there sort of a standard multiplier that we assume for pre-war stuff that, okay, this amount is graded. How much then do we think is left ungraded in the wild?
It's a great question. It really is, but impossible to answer. And as time goes by, every year you have to adjust that multiplier down. Or at least as the graded pop goes up, right? So so we've got the Champs Hockey George Vezina at $2,200 PSA 4. Let's have a look at it. I think it's so cool. I just think it's so darn cool. It's not the prettiest card, but it's still awesome. I love that image of him. I don't think I see that image anywhere else. It's off-centered. It's got some staining in the bottom right corner. All four corners have a little touch on them, which is fine. The reverse looks very nice. There's the stain on the reverse in the same spot. That's fine. I like the natural look. New slab. Great looking. The slab is great. I don't know about these wrinkles in this inlay here, but other than that, this is a great looking card. Great looking presentation in the PSA slab. And then we got the Howie Morenz. To me, the two most important pre-war players are Morenz and Vezina, and this is nice. This is a 2, so a lower grade, but I like this. I like the condition. I like the eye appeal more on this one in terms of the centering. It does have some surface wear, right? There's even a crease coming right through the forehead, but it's definitely there, but it's not that bad. So what's the pop on this? Does it say? It does not. I'm going to look up the pop on this one too. And partially because, I'm like, do I want to bid on this? 9238, 1315. I want to bid on it. I'm probably not going to, but it's a pop 4 with 19 higher on the Morenz. So that's it. But it's only a 2, of course, but it's a nice 2 in my opinion. And as I scroll down to M for Morenz, just see the total submissions. Looks like there's been exactly 30 submissions of the Morenz in this set. With, as I said, I think I said 19 higher or so. I'm trying to expand it so that I can see the breakdown of the grades. And so there we go. Now I can see that. So it looks like, I want to see the highest grade is an 8. There's 3 8s, 1 7, 2 6s, 7 5s, 1 5.5, 1 4.5, 2 4s, 1 3, 4 2s, 5 1s. So there's some lower grade. It's a beautiful card, even in a 2. Pairing these two together would be like an amazing pairing for anybody who likes vintage hockey. And then you've got
Is Morenz, Jeremy, your pre-war guy? Is he like the guy? If you had to pick one, him and Shore?
Him and Vezina, and then Shore for me. Yeah. If I could only collect one of their cards, I would probably go with Vezina, only because he's got more. He goes back before 20. He's got those 3 extras in 10, 11, and 12, where Morenz doesn't. And after that, they basically go card for card. So I'd probably go
Vezina's
Vezina.
only in 11 and 12. He's not in 10.
Correct. Yeah. I go back and grab those two for sure. The 11 and 12, even though the 12 is nearly impossible. Let's say hello to everybody though. We're just so engrossed in this auction. Kevin Hawthorne, Lakeland, Florida. What's up? Jacob Dahl, good evening. Yes, Jacob, some excellent cards up tonight. Laura, good evening. Good to see you. The professor, same to you. What did Josh think about the Wild being booed in Ottawa last night? Well, it's a great question, Professor. And not to not let Josh answer, but I think all American teams are going to be booed in all Canadian cities for the next week or so. Josh, did you have any thoughts on that, though? And they weren't booing the Wild. They were booing the United States, just to be clear.
They're booing just your team. They're booing your whole country.
Well, Trump, really. They were booing Trump more than anything.
Yeah. I think it's believe me, the last few years have made me a pretty big fan of Canada. And I have so many friends in Canada that I don't want to see our countries, at odds in any in any way possible. So it's disappointing from that perspective for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Jason Pringle, good evening to you. Good to yeah, it's cold here right now, guys. I open up my weather app on my phone and it is telling me that we are minus 24. That is Celsius. But for you Americans, let me convert that to Fahrenheit and let you know what that is. Minus 11 Fahrenheit here right now where I am. What's up, Michael? Welcome to the show. Tori Olson, good evening. Shannick, Josh is Phil talking to you after what your boy Hartman did to his Timmy tantrums.
No, we didn't talk about that last night, and I didn't even watch the game. I couldn't watch the game, so I'm a little bit behind. Did he do a cheap shot? I'm not a big Ryan Hartman fan, so
I don't know. Yeah. What's up, Ali? Good to see you. Sundin, what's going on? Linda received my Crosby 21-2 Allure Double Rainbow. Congratulations. Jeff McMahon, good evening. Brett S. I did see your message last night. Can you message me or email me at can you send me a message somewhere, Brett S, please, or send me an email at Sports Cards Live Show. Here, I'm going to put this up for you really quick here. If you could email me, where's my email address? Here, right there. If you could send me an email, Ali, I'd appreciate that. Thank you very much. Sorry, not Ali, Brett S. That's for Brett S. Thank you. Louis. What's going on, Louis? Laura, the Pro Set Lombardi trophies in that. Yeah, that's a cool card as well. Swagnificent. Were those LePatri's Type 1 photos? No, they did not. I mean, I say no, but they don't look like photo. Well, I don't think so. The LePatri's aren't because, well, this one, they have, if you can see, it has a border around it. So it's definitely not a photo, I don't think. And these are postcards. What's up? What's going on, Matt? Tomcat Sports Cards. Good to see you, buddy. 2 Cent. Good evening. Larry, how much new pre-war is cracked slabs and regrading? Or yeah, lots, right, Larry? Lots of it is. No doubt about it. That's why I do think that the population reports are significantly flawed. So you have to take that with them with a grain of salt. They're overstated. The only grade that isn't overstated and is a bit still is PSA 10, because who's cracking those? But we do know they do get cracked here and there. So, oh boy, 38 Celsius, 100 Fahrenheit. They're in Adelaide, Australia. I love Adelaide. I spent time in Adelaide. JP up in the Northwest Territories, minus 22 Fahrenheit. What is that? What is that on Celsius, minus 22? It's like minus 40? Holy moly. LGC, Josh, so our Patreon donations are 25. Yes, Patreon donations might have got more expensive now. David G, that Moran. Yes, David, it does. The Moran's Champs does look fantastic for a 2. Minus 30 Celsius. Oh, it's not that much colder than where I am at minus 24 here, JP, but definitely not toasty. That's for sure. All right, Josh, let's look at some more cards. 51 Parkhurst. We got 2 Alex Delvecchios, a PSA 6, and an SGC 2.5. We've got a Boom Boom Jeffrey on PSA 1.5. I want to take a look at that because it looks nice for 1.5. And it is got a crease here. It's got another crease coming up right through here. Maybe all the way, right, big one there. Crease coming down big crease coming down there. It's got a fisheye right there. Other little snowy issue there. It's nice and full bodied though. It's got good color, really good color, and it's not bad centering. Let's have a quick look at the back. See, there's, yeah, you can see that crease coming right across there, all the way across the card. You know, for 1.5, that's a nice looking copy, in my opinion. Yeah. It might even be well, that's the Jeffrey on. We had these 2 over here. Let's keep on going though. We've got the Ted Lindsay PSA 2. We've got the Ted Lindsay SGC 3.5. The winning goal, Bill Barilko's quote-unquote rookie card in a PSA 2. Josh, have you ever looked at this winning goal card?
No.
So let me just explain what this is. This is like the only non-player card in the 51 Parkhurst, because you can see, for anyone else who wants to learn about this card, you can see that the card is actually not called, it's called the winning goal. Where you would see Maurice Richard or Gordie Howe, you see the winning goal. So, but it does say Barilko scores against McNeil, bringing the Stanley Cup to the Toronto Maple Leafs for the 1950-51 season. And there he is flying through the air, very similar to Bobby Orr and his famous image. I love the referee here in the card as well. Even though it's not considered, technically Barilko's card, the hobby has accepted it as his card, his rookie card. And it's just pretty cool. It's one of those important cards from the set. This is a PSA 2. Looks really good for a 2. Maybe there is some tilt or diamond cut going on. And I'm just saying that because look at the way the bottom border, it does narrow as you move on to the right. I think it does. It looks to me to be doing that. I'm not sensing any significant creasing though. And it's hard to tell, but I'm not seeing any on the front. A little stain here on the front. I like that though. I like those little stains. Easier to spot creases on the backs of these sometimes, and I don't see anything, but if anyone out there does, please let me know. I'm sure there's got to be something, maybe some light wrinkles, perhaps. Anyway, it's a really cool card, very important to the hobby, and this scene was documented. It was actually redone again in one of the Pro Set in 90-91 or 1-2 Pro Set did a card about the goal. And then the Tragically Hip, Canada's best, one of Canada's all-time best musical bands, wrote a song about it. And I think their song is actually about the Pro Set card, not this one, but this is the original. Yeah, it's a great card. 64 tops, Gordie Howe Tallboy in a PSA 5. I love this card, and this one looks really good for a 5. Yeah, I mean, the centering is really nice. Well, it's off to the right. They're harder but the color, this is great.
Does that have major tilt, or is it off in the holder? Because this seems very tilted to the right.
Are you talking about the border here narrowing as you come down? Yeah, there's tilt for sure. Oh, yeah. Definitely tilt. Yeah, good call. And look at the bottom. Look at how narrow it goes as you move off to the right. Yeah, it's got clockwise tilt for sure, which usually would bother me. It's harder. It's a little bit harder to notice tilt on these tall boys, I find. But this one is noticeable. Josh, so aptly pointed it out. I really like this copy, though. Recently slabbed. I think it's a strong 5, even despite the tilt. If that was graded a 7, I'd have issues, but it's not. Eddie Jackman, PSA 8, 65 tops rookie. Looks good. Let's have a look here. Yeah, really nicely centered. Seems to have something going on right in this area here. Don't know what that is, but that's not supposed to be there. I'm not sure if that's a slab issue or if that's an inking issue. Look how cut out his head looks too. Like, it's pretty funny. I never noticed that before. I've never zoomed in on this card so close, maybe, but it's a decent copy. This does hurt it, in my opinion. This issue, like, that's where my eyes are going to go every single time. If I own this, I'm going to look over here and wish it wasn't there. So it wouldn't be a candidate for me. But if someone wants maybe what might be a cheaper 8, this might be an opportunity due to that. It has superior eye appeal. That tells me one of two things: either that is not on the card, or Ryan at Fanatics just made a mistake on this one, because I don't see how you can give eye appeal to a card that this is the old days. This is a PWCC sticker, so still Ryan, but edges, corners, centering, color, all eye appeal worthy, I would say. Now registration might not be, but this again, if that is on the card, it loses all qualifications for eye appeal in my opinion. But I have different standards than they do, I guess. We have another Phil Esposito rookie, Josh, 65 tops, SGC 4. Anders Hedberg. I have to point out Anders Hedberg because I used to see this guy play a lot. I used to go and watch Anders Hedberg. He played on a line with Bobby Hull and Ulf Nielsen. Those guys were winning all the Avco Cups in the WHA, and Anders Hedberg was a big name in the WHA. And when the WHA merged with the NHL and the Winnipeg Jets lost all their good players, this guy ended up going to the Rangers. We lost him, and he was just a great Swedish player, Anders Hedberg. Have you heard that name before, Josh?
No.
No, hey? Yeah, Anders Hedberg. I mean, oh, like that's nostalgia for me. I literally grew up watching this guy play hockey in my early days, like in the late 70s. Okay, let's look at the Gretzkys now, guys. Oh, by the way, all access extended bidding just kicked in right now. So we're in the first half-hour segment of that. Before we do, I'm just going to close a bunch of these windows, just tidy things up a little bit for our viewing pleasure. Close up all these items. And what's this one? Okay, there. Okay. So we got Gretzky's. Let's start with this PSA 1 with exceptional eye appeal. Let's have a look at this bad boy. Okay. I mean, the thing about a PSA 1 Gretzky is that they're often just filled with creases everywhere. Creases, bends, webbing, right, Josh? Like that white webbing at the spot coming through. This one doesn't seem to, like, you don't see any of that except a little bit at the very bottom here. So let's zoom in on that to start. Oh, now I see it. Yeah, you've got a crack coming up here. And then I don't know if you guys can see, but there are all sorts of creases running through this card. If you can see my mouse, which I know is small, but all through here. It goes all through basically the whole bottom of the surface of the card. Bottom corner, you see what that is, bottom right corner. Yeah. Registration black to blue is really strong. Oil drop is good, not perfect. You got a little bit of red shadow coming off the bottom of the legs there. But no gaps between the blue and the black, which I really like. I like the edges on this card a lot. Top corners are, they're good for a 1. Oilers on the same plane as Edmonton. Edmonton showing a little bit of snow, a couple of white marks, but nothing crazy. I mean, the creases as well. I don't see them on the top of the card. They seem to start right in this area here. I'm not seeing them on the right side as much. They're basically like on this, underneath this line I'm drawing with my mouse is where the creases are. And they are heavy, like they are there, especially in this area here. But they're not like cracking the surface except for that one at the bottom. So that's pretty good. So I'm trying to decide for myself, do I agree with the eye appeal assessment on this card? And for a 1, I think I do. I think I do. The centering isn't perfect, but it's good. It's good. I think for a 1, this is likely in the top 15%. So I can't disagree with it. And nice. It presents well. What do you think?
The only other thing I might notice is a little counterclockwise tilt. Do you see that?
I do. I see it. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I don't have the greatest frame of reference for 1s, but from a distance, it looks great. So I'm not going to argue with Fanatics.
All right, well, let's have a look at the PSA 8 now. Oh boy, I hope I don't have to tear this thing apart. Okay, let's see. At first glance, the reason why, I don't know if you can hear me with these heavy sighs right now, but at first glance, it just doesn't look like there's enough border on the right and left sides to me. Something feels off to me. And then look at the gap. Look at this gap here between the edge of the card and the ridge in the slab. Now this right edge looks natural to me. So maybe it's shortcut at the factory. Let's look at the other edge. I hope it's, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this, guys. This looks, oh my gosh. I'm just going to tell you what I think. Hey, Bobby. Yes, we did. We talked about your book. I haven't pulled it out. I don't like this card. I think if you buy this card, the first thing you do is send it back to PSA and have them review if it's been trimmed. I think it's trimmed. I think this card was trimmed. The left side, this looks to me like a trim job where they tried to make it look like a rough cut. That's what I see here, guys. It looks like a trim with a rough cut. If you look at this, now you can't look at all 4 edges of a Gretzky rookie and say if there's one different edge that edge was trimmed, because the blades were different, okay? But looking at enough of these, This edge just looks manufactured to me. These little white spots I'm seeing, little white spots along the edge look like it's, and then of course it's just so short. It's just so short. Oil drop's beautiful. No shadows off the bottom of the legs. No gap between the black and the blue. Look at how well centered the black circle is within the bigger black circle. We never see that. That's almost perfect. We rarely see that level of perfection. Scrolling up, the word Edmonton Oilers are good. Not seeing minimal to no, print, other plates coming into the white here, this thin white border. Centering overall, it's off to the right. And then there's like this weird tilt. I just don't like this copy, guys. This copy feels very funny to me. I would advise against buying it or bidding on it. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to the person who's consigning this card, but to whoever does buy this card, I would send it, or if the owner takes it back, whatever, I would send it to PSA and utilize their guarantee, because I'm gonna go off on a limb and say, like, I'm basically like 60% sure this card was trimmed. So, but it's at $97.50 right now, plus buyer's premium. Josh, any thoughts on any of that?
I'm gonna defer to your knowledge, and my thought is, this is why I say all the time on our show, if you're buying this card, I think it's always, or buying a Gretzky rookie, it's always good to consult a second opinion from somebody in the hobby, preferably that is more experienced than you have, because there are so many, it's such a complicated card to buy.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, well, let's keep on going. It's just unfortunate. We have a O-Pee-Chee SGC4, and let's have a look at this. Looks really nice. Nice sharp edges. Bottom corners have a touch of stock showing through. I don't feel like this one. Look at the edges on the borders, the left and right borders on this. Like it doesn't look funny to me that way. Oil drop is offset a bit, as you can see. Shadow coming off the bottom of the legs, the red, and that, because the oil drop is shifted off to the right, so that makes sense. Yeah, not a bad looking copy, but I don't really have much more to say about it. I've seen edges like this before, and it's like, I think the very beginning, like this bottom, at the very beginning of the corners of the edges not being perfect anymore. But is there a weird sort of like, no, I guess this is a straight line here. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think I have any other issues with this card. It's actually a pretty nice copy, aside from those bottom two corners, but it is a 4. The centering top to bottom, right to left, while not perfect, very good. Very, very good. Grant Fuhr, PSA 9 rookie from 82 O-Pee-Chee at $90, and a Mario Lemieux PSA 8 O-Pee-Chee. This one's off center, you can see right away. Early slab, by the way, as well. And so, this is quite off-centered for an 8, but still within PSAs. They have loose standards for centering. So, this is probably a legit 8 centering-wise. And, oh, look at that. That's pretty nice. There's very little registration issue. Well, actually, now that I look at this, the bottom of the shaft of the stick here, I do see some magenta dots coming in there. And then you can see a bunch of little white dots on the surface here. It's it's not centered enough for me personally, but it is what it is. And it's a very early slab. So not crazy early. It does have the first iteration of the PSA hologram on it, actually. So there are several older variations of the slab. This is a nice pair you can pick up. PSA 10s of the 1989 O-Pee-Chee Lemieux and Gretzky. Lemieux's at $50 or $48. Gretzky's at $195. And then skip ahead 3 years. This is the first year that Topps Golds came out, and they're a parallel to the base set. The only thing that really sets it apart that I remember, and I collected this set when they came out. These were 1 card per pack. Yeah. And I built the set, is that this gold overlay. It's almost like a gold leaf overlay on the nameplate and the team plate here. This is a PSA 10. It's a pop 10 in PSA 10. So it's kind of cool in that it's the first Topps Gold, one of the first gold cards in the hobby. $625 right now for a junk wax era card. I think that's pretty darn cool right there, Josh. What do you think of it?
Yeah, and it should go up more. I think that these sell for about $1,000. And I don't know, you would know better than me because it's probably around the time when you had your shop, but one of the first like gold foils too, right? On any card. It made them feel pretty exotic at the time.
Exactly. It's the first. I think it's the first gold parallel with gold foil. Even it might be the first time that, and I don't know for sure, but it might be the first time the gold foil was used. It does look nice, Michael. I'm noticing some scratches here on the foil. Now, again, is this on the slab or on the foil? If it was on the foil, I don't know that this would have made a PSA 10 grade, but this card, it was graded in around, 2014 or so, I would say, based on the serial number. So still, a good time for their grading. Not as good as now, but a good time for their grading. Okay, that's page 1, guys. So there, Bob, if you're still there, because Bobby came in and asked, did you cover the 24 Champs Stanley Cup card? We talked about the 24 Champs set here, Bobby, because the whole set is available tonight. And we talked about these 3 in particular, the Vezina Morens and Stanley Cup. But if you have anything to add, let's hear it. Let's hear it for sure. The Stanley Cup it's a very cool card, no doubt. Let's do some more comments here, Josh, quick. More Hockey Cards said the Maple Leafs won the cup. Unbelievable. They did, but not for many, many, many decades. Yeah, when the world was younger. That's right, Laura. Ali says there is a McDavid employee exclusive. There are 3 that I know of, a PMG, this auto card, and another non-auto gold, maybe not a rookie. Do you have any information on these? I do not have any information on these, Ali. I do not know. Brett, thank you for sending the email. I'll check it out. Jeff McMahon, yes, Hedberg and Nielsen and Bobby Hull. That was the line. Oh my gosh. Terry Ruskowski was the captain back in those days. But yes, Bobby. Perchie, 73 watching. Let's smash that like button for the boys. Thank you, Perchie. No one can break down the Gretzky like Jeremy Lee. Thank you, thank you, Linda's first. CSI Gretzky, I like that. That's funny. A lot of the strips on the Gretzkys were way offset. So he's talking about the gold. Some of the gold strip here down at the bottom. And this doesn't seem to be. Like, this looks to be right on where it should be, I believe. Yeah, he says this one looks nice. Bobby, Josh reviewed the Stanley Cup card of late. I wrote a neat article on it on Hobby News Daily, which has all the details on the 24 Champs Stanley Cup card, written by Bobby Burrell, everybody. All right, let's go to page 2, Josh. We got 3 pages of cards that we are highlighting here tonight. So let's go to page, not this page. Close that. Here we go, page 2. We're going to start with 1996 Metal Universe Lethal Weapon Superpower Wayne Gretzky PSA 9 at $175. Really, really cool cards. I have a feeling you like this card, Josh. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I love the card. One of the toughest cards to buy online because
you don't know if it's superpower or not.
Yeah, very hard to distinguish until you see it in person. And so that's one benefit of it being in a PSA slab. I don't know. I was thinking about this. Maybe you have a better price context than I do, but 175 seems a little light, doesn't that, for this card on a PSA 9?
It does seem a little bit light. I definitely do agree with that. So because I own a copy of it myself and I've recently kind of valued my collection, let me see if I can find and I think mine's a PSA 9 as well. So let me see. Yeah. Oh no, I got a PSA 8. I have a PSA 8 and I also have a tag 8.5. So I have 2 copies of the card. I valued my PSA 8, and again, this is like for insurance purposes. I valued it low, I think conservatively at 180 Canadian. So so this PSA 9 is now at about 300 or a little bit over 300 with buyer's premium Canadian, and it should go up a bit. So
yeah, it's an awesome card though.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They are beautiful. 97 certified mirror gold with coding Gretzky, PSA 9 at $410. Now these are, I think we'd see numbering on them if it was in the title, if there was numbering on them. Not a numbered card. This is one of those cards where there's probably like a stated print run, but I don't know what that is. Beckett Magazine's good for that kind of information.
You just don't want to confuse that with the platinum mirror gold. That's the one that's out of 30.
Exactly. And I was just going to say, like, the Beckett Magazine is still good for that kind of information on like stated print runs until something better comes along, I suppose. 2000 SP Game Used Tools of the Game. Bronze Wayne Gretzky patch auto out of 300 right here. Nice looking card. Early Gretzky jersey auto. One color, what we call a napkin piece right there. 69 out of 300. Autograph looks pretty good. Streaky on the downstroke on the W, but other than that, really, really good. And that's just how he was holding the pen. It's a raw copy. Mm-hmm. What's that number 2? Oh, what happened there? Let's see. What's that number 2? Numbered out of 300, right? Just said it. Okay. Black Diamond rookie cards from 05. You can pick up the Ovechkin and the Crosby here. Now in unmatching slabs, the PSA 10 Ovechkin is at $16.75, and the Crosby is a BGS 9.5 at $300. And then a Cup Gold base parallel out of 25 from 2005, Paul Kariya. That should sell for more than $21. People love these golds from 05 the Cup. Speaking of 05 the Cup, we've got the Henrik Lundqvist signature patch here, 2-color rookie year patch, numbered out of 75 at $195. The first year of Hockey Essential credentials. We have the Crosby from 2008 Ultra EX. It's the red. They were red and like yellows or greens back in 08. This is a PSA 9 numbered out of 87. I'm a big fan of these. I personally do own a copy of this card. And just really cool. You've got die-cut cardboard with foil on top over the colored acetate. I love how there's like gold foil stamping on the acetate itself. Like that's really cool. We don't tend to see that very often. Great looking card right there. And then in 2009, Exquisite Flashback Steve Yzerman auto patch out of 25 in a PSA 8 holder. Pop 1, none graded higher at $875. Has a really nice 2-color Red Wings patch in it. Let's have a look at the autograph. Autograph is beautiful. There's the patch. Patch looks too good to be true. I think that's the case. It's a PSA 8 right there. Very recent slab here as well. Very recent slab here. But I will, just a light warning. I think Josh in the Gong Show talked about this too. I've looked at this card before. I'm 95% certain that this is not the original patch. And I don't think PSA knows. I don't think Fanatics knows. But I'm 95% certain. And that's from I used to collect images of these cards back when they were released in around 2010. And I've got about half the print run imaged. I don't have another copy of this one, so that's why I'm not only 95% certain. But all the copies I have images of here are very simple, like patches. And if you want to see them, let me know. I'll have to shut down this screen share and bring up another one. I can do that, but I can show you what all the especially if you're looking at buying this card, just know that it's out there in the interwebs on several podcasts that this particular copy is likely not a pack pulled patch. This is an enhanced patch card. Again, 95% certain. So just my opinion, but I think it's really something to consider. Otherwise, it's beautiful. Just a beautiful piece. Okay, big row here, guys. A big row. We have the 2012 Fleer Retro PMG Green Sidney Crosby in a 7. We have the Gretzky 2012 Fleer Retro PMG Red in a BGS 8.5. And in the middle is the Fleer Retro Autographics Alex Ovechkin Auto. And you can barely even see the autograph on here, but it is there. It's right there. It is a sticker. You got to wonder why the person affixing the sticker didn't lower it down into this area and left it up there in this case. was just a botched job, I would say. But the card grade's a 10. The autograph's on there, and these auto graphics. It's interesting that PSA didn't put autographics on the front because now is it not an autographics? I thought it was an autographics.
Maybe it is. No, there's two sets. There was a base autographics and then the premium for retro. It is an autographics.
It is an autographics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it is an autographics. And that's what, okay, so autographics really never meant much to hockey collectors, but it meant a lot to basketball collectors. And therefore, I'm actually really confused why PSA wouldn't put that on the flip here, because in a way, that's more important than 99 Skybox Premium Auto. If it said 99 Skybox Autographics, I think that would be better for the card, like selling it, but that's just that's how PSA decided.
Yeah, I think auto is an abbreviation for autographics in this case, but it doesn't change your point. Your point is 100%. Yeah,
and I think you're right because they have a period there, so you're likely bang on there. I would have taken off the word premium and put the full autographics on, but that's just me. But the Crosby PMG Green is a beast of a card. I remember seeing one of these sell. Actually, that's how I got into the auction calling business. Was when one of these cards went off back in 2021, I guess, early 21, and the Gretzky PMG Green, maybe this exact copy, I'm not sure, sold for like 18,000 USD or something like that. It was a big number, a real big number. Cool cards.
Wow.
And the Gretzky's beautiful. I love the red and the green. No blue here. The red and the greens I do favor over the blue, but both just beautiful, beautiful cards, guys. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more action, but we may not. I mean, we need a bid on the Crosby green to go into the next window. Same with the Gretzky red here at 16.25. I won't be bidding on either of those cards. I own copies, just as an FYI. I also own a copy of this Gretzky here. I was showing Josh at the top of the show, the 2013 Fleer Showcase Star Rubies Wayne Gretzky out of 50. I got pulled out my card. I love this card. I could look at these. This exact year of Rubies is my favorite. I love them. And this is the PSA 10. Gretzky out of 50. Pop 1 of 1, guys. $17.75. A decent price. I think we've seen cards like this sell for, more like $4,000 to $6,000 in the past. But again, that's the past. Thoughts on that card, Josh?
Awesome. Love them. You kind of have to see them in hand to get them. I think that they suffer. One of those cards that suffers from the ability not to make a great scan or take pictures.
Correct. Yeah.
But love it.
I also love these Ultra Platinum medallions out of 25 from 2013. I have a few from this set. There's the Stamkos. They're just beautiful cards. 2013 Panini Titanium Draft Position Nikita Kucherov rookie, numbered out of 58. So they did a couple of rookie sets this year, like parallels, draft position. So he was drafted 58th overall is what that means. They made 58 of them. They also did a jersey numbered set, number to the jersey number. So you have two options of those. So, and they're both, I believe I think they're both considered to be RCs, but maybe not. Look that up yourselves. I'm not sure. Some McDavid rookie year exquisite stuff right over here. We got the patch out of 35. We've got the auto out of 99 at 2,200 and a PSA 85. I love this patch card. I mean, I just love the shape of the patch window. I love the overall design of the card. This is a nice patch too. It'd be better with orange, but it's okay. Still, I think it's really cool. This is like a raw card. Take it out of this holder. Get rid of this label that is kind of covering a bit of the card as well, it looks like. Maybe not, actually. There seems to be a gap there, but not a big fan of that label. But a very nice card right there. And then here is an autograph rookie year McDavid from Black Diamond, silver on black. Interesting. I didn't know that they had a silver. I'm not familiar with that insert set, Josh. But there it is, silver on black. Look at that.
Yeah.
I like that. Silver auto on a black background. That's pretty cool. I wasn't aware that they did that. That's really cool. Really cool. Johnny Gaudreau, exquisite auto patch out of 50, PSA 6 at $110. Rest in peace, Johnny. Couple of an upper deck buyback Gretzky out of 24, non-auto, just a base card here, but PSA 9 at $49. And here's the employee exclusive McDavid rookie auto PSA 8 that was asked about earlier by Ali, I believe. It's at $1,300. It's a pop 8, 5 graded higher. I do not know the print run, and I'm guessing that it's not on the card anywhere. Otherwise, Ali wouldn't have asked that question. I don't know how these were distributed. Were they gifts on birthdays? Were they gifts at an event to employees? I don't know why employees received those cards, unlike the PMGs, which they used to get, I believe, at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still cool. It's a nice card with a great auto.
And I think the Bedard companions in the auction too. So they did this last year. They did the Connor Bedard rookie auto in the same design.
Oh, that's awesome. Like, what a great idea then to or opportunity to pair those together. McDavid Young Guns, PSA 6, $360. PSA 9, $650. BGS 95 is sitting at $725. Let's scroll back to the top here, guys. 4 minutes until the 5-minute windows, and we have our first sold items. We still need bids on some big cards here tonight. Let's go to page 3 now, and let's try to go a little quicker. Couple of 2016 Essential Credentials Gretzky's out of 40. Here's 2 of them right there, guys. A PSA 7 and a PSA 8. 2 of the 40 are right there. That's 5% of the print run. Austin Matthews Young Gun BGS 95. But John, what do you think of these Essential Credentials? Because it is kind of a unique design. I personally really like them. What do you think?
Yeah, I like them. I like that they're different. If I got to choose any Essential Credentials design, I'd probably go with the more traditional. But as opposed to doing the same design over and over again, like the 97-98 retro PMG, I like that they switch it up for the Essential Credentials.
Right on. Yeah. Nice cards. Austin Matthews 9.5. Austin Matthews PSA 10 at $675. Jack Hughes Future Watch Auto Raw at $450, and a McCarr 9.5 Young Guns at $230. And then Jack Hughes 3 10s here, 140, 130, 135. An amazing McDavid Jumbo Premier Mega Chest card, mega patch from the chest logo here out of 22. I mean, that's the card right there. This is a major card. Like, this is a major card, I feel like, Josh. Like, the whole oil drop is there. That's amazing. And it's game used, right? Tell me it's game used. Yeah, I think it says certified to NHL as being used in an official NHL game. Now, was it worn by Connor? I think so. With Connor McDavid game used hockey memorabilia.
There you go.
There you go. That's what they say. This is like, what a great patch card. Unbelievable. Grade is unimportant in my opinion. Kaprizov PSA 10 at 165. Caulfield at 115. And then we have a bunch of Bedard Dazzlers. 1150 on the black. PSA 10 pop 12. 88 on the blue. 60 on the green, 64 on the orange, 300 on the pink, and 410 on the red. I do not know the order of scarcity on those 5 colors. Do you know it, Josh? 6 colors.
Kind of, I do. The black and the red are they're retail exclusive, actually. So that's kind of interesting. You don't see a lot of retail cards these days get a big hobby chase. But I believe the black is maybe like 1 out of 96 or 1 out of 100 something, I want to say.
But it's the rarest for sure.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm only saying that only the price tips me off on that. We have the Black Diamond Gems Emerald Bedard out of 10, PSA 7 at $600. I mean, that's a pretty cool, rare Bedard rookie card here. Only 10 copies. It's got the green foil, the emerald foil, 10 of 10 right there. Nice looking card. The green on the red is not my favorite color combination on cards, but only 10 copies, still pretty cool. PSA 7, again, I don't think the grade's all that important on this, but $600 as it sits right now. And then some Bedard Young Guns, some 10s here, 480, 500, 410, 200 for BGS 95. And there's that companion card Josh was talking about, the rookie exclusive Bedard, or the employee exclusive Bedard. It says authentic altered here, $600. So they've deemed it to be altered somehow. Don't know how, but somehow. Okay, guys, now we are at the end of the first level of the extended bidding. I'm going to do comments, Josh, if you don't mind.
Yep.
So Linda's first says, yeah, a lot of the Yzerman Exquisite patches were sides of the numbers, not from the crest. Bingo, exactly. David G, the Hap Day rookie, is the big one too from the C144 set. Thank you, David. Tori Olsen, interesting info on the Yzerman patch. Yep, epic fail on the Obi sticker. I agree. Turpin Forrester, why sticker and autograph? It should be on card. That's what they could do back in the day, Terp. I mean, they had, that's just what they were working with back in the day. More hockey cards, please. Can we talk about the haircut of this guy in the 24 champs cards? The dye, too funny. Looks like he's from the 90s, not the 20s. Okay, let's go. We got it. I got to see that now. Hold on a second. Let's just do this. Let's go there. Let's go to here. And let's go to hockey. And the dye. So where are we going to? Oh, okay, let's go start with earliest year.
Probably search for it too.
Oh, thank you, Josh. That's a better idea. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, look at that. Good call. More hockey cards, please. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Buy the card just for the hairdo. Come on. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. I just love it. Like this guy was way ahead of his time. Hey, Josh?
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. I love it. More hockey cards. Yeah, I might just buy it because of the hair. I don't blame you. Guys, if you're buying anything, if you're bidding, please use the SCL affiliate link. It's at the top of the chat here or in the video description. The one in the video description down below is clickable, guys. Please click that before you bid. Support the channel. Support what we're doing here. Greatly appreciate it. Linda's first autographs were a cross-brand autograph set put out by Fleer in their basketball sets in the late 90s. Right, and that's why they have equity and people like them nowadays. Brett says, last Fanatics Collect Live, I spoke about how the 13-14 McKinnon Platinum Medallion was on my want list. Got a 9.5 last week. Congrats. A 9 last week. Congrats. I love that card too. Kalanick wants us to show the Yzerman patches. Will do. Dylan Rantucci, good evening, my friend. Yzerman patches, please. Die looks like a Kachuk. Well said. Okay, so I'm going to just do this for a second, guys, and we're going to look at my record of the Yzerman patches for you guys. So here we go. Let me present this to you. So I, back in the day, collected here we go. And here they are. I collected all these images of all the Gretzky, the Howes, the Lemieux, and the Yzermans. I don't have the Gretzkys for some reason, but if I blow this up, and I scroll down, you can see the Yzerman. So I hope you can see them. So this one here is number 2 of 25. This is number 4 of 25, all white. Number 7 of 25. Here's the 8 of 25 of tonight. I've had this image for a while. I deemed this fake in my records a long time ago. 9 of 25, one color. 12 of 25 after the patch job and before the patch job. So 12 of 25 is also fake. 13 of 25, a little bit of red, mostly white. 16 of 25, as who said it, mostly, side of the numbers. 17 of 25, some red and some white. 21 of 25, all white. 22 of 25, a little bit of red on the far left. 24, a little bit of red on the far left. And this on the bottom is 25 of 25, a little bit of red on the far left. So out of however many different ones we have here, 12, 13, 14, I think we have 12 different ones, so about half of them. I think that's a good enough sample size for me to get comfortable that this just can't be real. I just don't believe it's a real real. I don't believe it's I just don't believe it. Was that helpful? I hope that helped you guys. I'm going to go back to the original screen share now and get back the Fanatics Collect platform as we watch. So here we go. As we watch the item, 29 seconds left, guys, in this 5-minute window for bids to come in. So for that, let's go have a look and see what happened with the PMGs. So they sold. The Crosby sold for $9,000 and the Gretzky sold for $1,950. We have 10 seconds left. The Ruby's Gretzky sold for $2,130. And we're gonna have more sales here right away. In 2 seconds, let's let this thing refresh. And now what I'm gonna do, Josh, is go back to the first page. Let's scroll through, see what's gone. Linda's first. It really pisses me off the way they ruin these great cards. I hear you, man. It pisses me off too. Okay. So the Howie Morenz champ sold for $2,880. Congrats to the new owner. All of these are still alive. One of the Del Vecchio PSA 6 did 600. The Jeffrey Elm 1.5 did 180. The winning goal did 312. The Jackman rookie 720. The PSA 8 Gretzky that I'm certain is trimmed sold for 11,700, while the PSA 1 exceptional did 600. All these are sold. Gretzky SGC 4 1530. Patrick Grand Fear PSA 9 108. PSA 8 Lemieux 780. 780 on the Gretzky Gold. 240 on the 89 Gretzky PSA 10. So there we go.
Did you bid on the Gretzky, Jeremy?
I did not. The gold,
Okay.
I did not. No, I kind of forgot, to be honest, Josh. I get busy doing this stuff, you know.
Oh yeah,
It happens to me. I forget to bid. Okay, what else sold? The certified mirror gold Gretzky 492. The tools of the game 348 for Gretzky. 384 on the Crosby Black Diamond. 2010 on the Ovechkin. 1110 on the patch swapped Yzerman, 384 on the Crosby Essential Credentials, 234 on Lundqvist, 9,000 on Crosby Green, 1950 on Gretzky Red, $26 on Stamkos, as we said, 112 on Kucherov rookie, 2640 on the exquisite McDavid autograph rookie card. Pop 3.
Can I make a quick point on a roll up? Does it surprise you that the Star Rubies sold for more than the red PMG?
Well, not really. A couple of reasons. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Here's 2 reasons. This is out of 50. This is out of 90. This is in LA. This is in Edmonton. Rubies historically, Rubies and PMGs are kind of like they go hand. They run neck and neck value wise. Even and part of it is because PMGs are out of more print run than the Rubies. So I'm actually not surprised, but I don't know that hockey collectors are as advanced as the basketball collectors are with how Rubies and PMGs relate to each other. So that surprised me. I thought that hockey collectors might give PMGs that much more value, where myself, I love the Rubies like just as much. So okay, what else do we got here? 750 on the beautiful exquisite patch, 2,500 on the silver on black rookie auto. These are still going. These all sold. 3 McDavid Young Guns, 810 on the PSA 9, 456 on the PSA 6, and 870 on the BGS 9.5. We have just under 2 minutes to finish this on this page, and then we'll see the next wave of sold cards. BGS 9.5 Matthews 408, PSA 10 $810. 540 on the raw Jack Hughes Future Watch Auto, 276 on the BGS 9.5 Makar Young Guns. Here, 3 Jack Hughes Young Gun rookies, all PSA 10s, 168, 162, 156. The McDavid drop is still going, 198 on the Kaprizov PSA 10, 1380 on the black Bedard, 108 on the blue. These have all sold. The red's still going at 700, 576 and 600 on the PSA 10 Young Guns Bedard, 492. We've dipped under $500 now, Josh, for the first time I can remember on a PSA 10 Bedard Young Gun.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? 240 on the SGC 9.5. Okay, so I really quickly, before the clock runs out on me, I want to refresh all 3 pages. So you hit refresh here, and refresh here. And let's see what we're left with. Nothing on this. Okay, so we can close one of our windows. So we're down to 25 cards, and here's what's left. And we're about to lose some more in 35 seconds, Josh. Whew. Crazy. I mean, some big cards going off tonight, you guys. And I did have a couple of cards I was considering. One was the Topps Gold, but I fell asleep at the wheel on that. So, and it's not super high priority for me. It would have been more for me. It would have been more for me about the card, like what it means and its place in history, being like the first gold card versus the looks of it. And looks are really important to me when it comes to cards. So, the Gretzky PMG Ruby would be a good would you rather. You're right, LGC. That would be. Well, let's do it. Let's do it for you guys. What would you rather have bought? for just over 2,000, the rubies out of 50, or for just under 2,000, the PMG red? What would you guys have preferred? LGC, when he says "would you rather," is referring to the Fanatics Collect Premier Auction show that Josh and I do. That Adam Gray and I do one Thursday a month, and we do a segment at the end where we do a this or that. I put two cards on the screen and we do a comparison. So we call it this or that. LGC is calling it "would you rather," but it's on this channel it's called this or that. So here we go. Linda's first: Ruby Oilers Gretzky over Kings Gretzky. So you're taking the Ruby over the Kings PMG. I eat unicorn with peanut butter. Welcome to the show. Never seen that username before. He's taking the PMG. LGC is taking the Ruby. Brett's taking the Ruby. I'm taking the Ruby too, guy. I own both, so I'm this, that, or both. I'm taking the Ruby, but I'm fortunate to have both of them in my collection.
Can I make my pitch for the PMG?
Yeah,
I just think that it's the iconic hockey PMG card.
Oh, I agree, Josh. And listen, the other thing, it's from 2012 Flair Retro. This is from 2013, so that's a bit of one knock against it. I like both. I don't want to have to choose, Josh. I don't want to have to. I want both of the cards.
They're both great, of course. They're both great.
They're both great. I love rubies though. I love the looks of them. Sundin is taking the PMG. Brett S is taking the Ruby. So we've had some more sales now. The Vezina 1924 champ sold for $3,480. The Stanley Cup is still going. It's at $52.50. The Vezina Lepatry. Bobby, if you're still there, no sign of the Lepatries in your books. What is this? What is this, Bobby? Because it's really cool. 198 on the Champions postcard, King Clancy. 552 on the Triumph postcard, Eddie Shore. Both of these are in Bobby's books. The other Ted Lindsay PSA 2 rookie does 204. This one does 204. The SGC 3.5 does 234. And I think that's a nicer card, the SGC. Everything else here is still going. The Ovechkin Autographics does 372. The Goudreau Patch Auto does 144. Still going. And on page 2 here, 750, the Bedard employee exclusive autograph sells for. But it says it's altered. I'd love to know what's altered about it. Like, let's just have a look and see if something jumps out at us. I have a feeling it won't. Like, if you're going to alter something, maybe a trim job here, weird whiteness, weird fray coming off the side right there. But I would expect it to be more of a recoloring or something. I don't know. There's some white showing on the lot of
these
white.
These are pretty beat up, Jeremy, in general.
Are they?
And if you're gonna trim it, you're not gonna leave all that crap on there. It's probably just like a min cut or something like that. Min size, I mean.
Well, min size is different than, because doesn't it say authentic altered on it? It says altered. That's not min size.
What is it? Now, is that? Oh, that's NBA. Okay.
Who said that? Yeah, it's an NBA. This is an NBA opinion that it's altered. I mean, they use certain lights as well to look at these cards and see if there's been any ink added or, oh, wait a second. What are they showing us here? What is this supposed to show us? 2 yellow highlights up there, nothing else on the front, and the back. I mean, what are those yellow highlights? Hold on, let's go to the front of the card. Like, what are you showing us? What is that trying to tell us? Because the top looks a lot nicer than everything else. I don't see any like added ink. I don't know what that's trying to say. Do they tell you in the description what it means? No. It's really interesting. Like this picture here is not helpful the way it's presented, because you don't know what you're trying to point out here when you then look at the card and you don't see any issues with it. Like, I don't know.
Well, I have the definition
of what?
of alteration from NBA's website that I can read.
Okay.
It says an authentic altered assessment or evidence of unnatural, atypical manufacturer physical attributes artificially applied or otherwise, may warrant a technical grade of authentic altered. Authentic altered assets retain considerable market value, but are generally lower value than unaltered. An authentic altered assessment is only an opinion, and items which receive NBA authentic altered assessment must present clear and convincing physical evidence of alteration. Final discretion will always be made by NBA experts. So,
yeah. So
a lot of words that mean not a lot.
Yeah. Well, it sold for $750 in any event and has been sold. And now, okay, let's see where we're at now. So the red Dazzler Bedard sells for $840. The green Black Diamond out of 10, $810. $144 on Cole Caulfield. $408 on the PSA 10 Essential Credentials Gretzky. I just think that's cheap, personally.
Mm-hmm.
$80 on the buybacks base card out of 24. We saw that. We saw 67 on the Lemieux. Now we saw the Gretzky sell earlier. The Lemieux PSA 10 from 89 to $67. And the two Ted Lindsays are sold. We saw that. 552 on the Triumph and 198 on the Champion, the King Clancy and the Eddie Shore. Let's hit refresh and see how many cards are left now, guys. About 10. 10 remaining. Okay, we got some information. Bobby Burrell. He is talking about, and it's gone now because it's been sold, but the 27-28 Lepatry, I think I'm saying it right, Montreal Canadiens pictures. This set of 21 player pictures was issued in the Montreal area. Each picture's measures, printed on thick paper stock. So good, Bobby, but issued by whom? Who was, do you know who Lepatry was? That a bakery? Was it a newspaper? What does patrie mean in French, Josh? Do you know? Come on, Josh. Tap into your Canadian blood.
Oh, that's funny.
Arena. So what? The Montreal Forum made it? What do you mean arena, Bobby? What do you mean by arena?
G. McLeod designed it?
Arena design? All right. So where are we at on the clock here? 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. We already have bids on these top three cards. The Stanley Cup is now up to $7,250 and going. Howe 320, Del Vecchio 175, 320 on Esposito, 68 on Anders Hedberg, Lethal Weapon Special Superpower. Gretzky's at 260. We have bids on everything so far except the Esposito. He needs a bid. And Korea is going to go into the next window. This Gretzky's needs a bid. It's at 300. This McDavid rookie year employee exclusive auto is at 1525. Needs a bid. And the McDavid oil drop patch is at 1575 and is still rocking. Guys, some awesome stuff here. I'm going to hit refresh here shortly. No, these are all still going. We have a minute and a half still. Good evening, 90s hockey collector. Welcome to the show. More hockey cards, please, says vintage is the best. Bobby Burrell, I believe these pictures were inserted in their newspapers. So whatever Montreal newspaper. Yeah, makes sense. The professor picked. Oh, I love the pickup, professor. I love that pickup for you. And we're card bros on it too. We're card bros on it now. Picked up the 2016 Showcase EX 2017 Essential Credentials Future Wayne Gretzky out of 40. The PSA 8, the stronger of the two options tonight. The other one is down here. It's a PSA 7. Right now, it's at $360 out the door. Professor sold my Anthony Davis Kaboom tonight to pay for the Gretzky. Congratulations on that play. Oh, look at this. I Eat Unicorn with Peanut Butter tells us that patrie is like where you come from, the city you are born, and you show affection for. Thank you, I Eat Unicorn. That makes a lot of sense. And it's a perfect name for a newspaper, which David G affirms. And Bobby estimated the Stanley Cup card at 10,000, Bobby. And it's at 10,000 now, 8,250 plus 1,650 gets us to 9,900, I believe. It's at 9,900, Bobby. You're going to get there for sure. So well done. If you asked, did he tell you that, Josh, or was that just on one of your shows, or is he?
No, I don't know where that was estimated, but looks like pretty spot on.
even if you did that privately, Bobby, I'm going to give you big credit for that. That's well done. 10 grand. Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at this card that's already at 10,000 US dollars out the door here. 1924 Champ Cigarette. And it's a PSA 2. It's a PSA 2, you guys. But it's a beautiful 2. Why is it only a 2? There must be something going on the back. Back looks clean. There's got to be creases and wrinkles, right? Like, I don't see any paper loss. And I mean, maybe I'm not seeing it, but usually, like, you're going to see some. I'm not seeing any paper loss. Maybe a crease in here. Crease and wrinkle. It has to be some light wrinkles or creases. Good evening, Kinger. This morning with friends. Well done, Bobby. Why is it a 2, though, Bobby? Did you inspect this? Bobby, I want to know from you if you know what's wrong with this card that knocks it down to a 2, because it looks really good. Right, Josh? Like,
oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, is there... Yeah, I don't know. Trying to find... I keep looking for a crease or something like that.
yeah, I'm looking for creases, and they're not, sometimes they're really hard to see. Those who are interested in our hockey contest may substitute this insert for any or all of these players. Any or all. Who's not going to take the all in that case, right? Why would you leave them on the table? Why is this thing so low grade? Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, that's all you can add. Hey, Bobby, yeah, it's amazing for a 2, right? That's it. That's all I got too. Brett S says, pick a card. 1924 C44 Stanley Cup PSA 2 or 1990 Pro Set Stanley Cup PSA 8.5 Pop 1 highest. I'm taking the Stanley Cup hologram personally. This is a cool card, but for the price, now I know who owns Brett. It's funny. I know who owns that one, the PSA 8.5 Stanley Cup hologram, and he's been offered a lot of money for it, and he won't sell it. He won't. Yeah, that's funny. Hey, Kinger, the word insert on the back of this card. Sundin says that Champs Stanley Cup card is the coolest card in the auction. McDavid employee exclusive is my Did you just buy it tonight, Ali, or are you selling it? Did you buy it? Did you buy it? I think you bought it. Congrats, Ali. I hope you used the link. It's a nice little commission to support the channel if at $1,830 if you use the link. Super cool, says Kinger. Brett's congratulating you. Brett from down under in Adelaide, Australia, one of the coolest cities ever, actually, guys. The way it was built, it's like a bike. It's like a, what do they call it? A spoken something in Spoken Hub. So it's like a.
Oh yeah.
It's a bunch of. It's a really well designed city. Bobby bought his Stanley Cup for $200 back in 2003. Bought cha-ching. I'll use the link when I pay. Thanks, Ali. Linda's for 60 people dissecting 100-year-old piece of cardboard. Yeah, that's a definition of an enthusiast. I love it. We are nerds, and I'm proud to be among you all. Okay, so where are we at here with the cards we were watching? Is it gonna? Oh no, I clicked in. Oh no, I didn't. Here we go. Okay, anything sell here? Oh, we got a minute still. Okay, the Esposito sold for $385. The McDavid sold for $1,830 to Ali. Congratulations. The PSA 7 Gretzky Essential Credentials Future did $360. And everything else still going. Let's hit refresh, and we'll be down to what, 7 cards? Yep. What's your favorite one among those remaining, Josh? I mean, obviously the Stanley Cup is cool. I asked that just because I love this McDavid. I just love that card.
For the last half hour, I've been trying to get the Lethal Weapon superpower, and I finally tapped out. So that'd be my favorite.
You've tapped out of the superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have 2 copies, buddy. So maybe we can maybe we can figure something out that way, and you can get one from a friend instead,
There you go. I like that idea.
Remind me, I'll bring to Expo. Okay, here goes the clock, guys. We're about to lose a couple of these anyway. 3 of them I think are just about to be sold. We'll be down to 4 cards, I believe, right? Let's hit. Okay, so what sold? Anders Hedberg, $81.60. Korea, that's cheap for the Korea Gold out of 25, $37, and $210 on the Del Vecchio. Let's refresh, and we are down to 4 cards. The Stanley Cup at $87.50. A very nice Gordie Howe. It is tilted, but it's a beautiful copy. PSA 5 at $330. The Lethal Weapon Superpower Gretzky at $270. And the McDavid Mega Patch Oil Drop at $1,675. Sundin says the Stanley Cup card is the best, but I guess the McDavid Oil Drop patch is all right too. Yeah, I mean, it is all right. That's right off the chest logo. Those are awesome in my eye. This card is sick. There's a bid. Just got bid up to $1,700 now. Gordie Howe up to $340 from $330. So we have a bit of a bidding war on our hands. We are, by the way, we're in the final 5-minute window of extended bidding, of all access extended bidding, guys. And we're about to move into the 1-minute windows here. So that'll be fun. Mega Patch fans watching, says Marchie Cards on Instagram. One of one says, please show the Eisner patches. Would love to see it. I hope you were there. I hope you were in the chat to see that. One of one. And there we, okay, why is that? That didn't update automatically. Oh, that's not the card that got the bid. That's right. It was the McDavid. So we have a bid on the McDavid. We have a bid on the Howe. We still need bids on Gretzky and the Stanley Cup to go into the 1-minute windows section of the auction here, guys. I appreciate that, Ali, again. Ben Hostler, what's going on, Ben? Says that McDavid card is amazing. From Rolling Insights, yes, it is, Ben. It is amazing. Kareem Pies in the house says, when do we start recognizing Draisaitl is the best player in the NHL, or at worst, a 3-way tie? What did he do tonight? What did he do tonight that makes you? I got to go check the hockey scores, guys. My Flames are winning 3-1 at the end of the second against the Kraken, and the Oilers didn't play tonight. That's right. They played last night, and I know he had a goal and an assist or something. Red Wings beat the Canucks in OT. Blues beat the Utah Hockey Club. Rangers are looking better now that they got JT Miller back. I mean, and he's woken up Zibanejad as well, guys. Who scored for my Flames so far? Morgan Frost, fresh off the trade from Philadelphia, has his first goal with the Flames. Sharon Govich and Huberdeau.
Okay, I want to take up Kareem's kind of question there. Well, let's assume that you're going to say McDavid and McKinnon are the 2 best players in the NHL. Is there anyone you're taking ahead of Draisaitl that remains?
Makar is the only person that comes to mind for me. Oh, Kucherov. I mean, this guy's an absolute machine. Like, he's missing that. He's missing like that sex appeal, though, for whatever reason. You know, we got McDavid. I'm just writing these down. We got McKinnon. We got Dry. We got Makar. You got Kucherov. I mean, we're not putting Crosby and Ovechkin in there because they're just too old right now. I think.
Too old, yeah. The interesting thing to me about Draisaitl is I've been a fan for a long time. And a year and a half ago to 2 years ago, when you tried to pump the tires for Draisaitl, the instinctive response many people have is, well, he's only good because of McDavid. And I think that's kind of gone away now.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
People are more recognizing.
I probably said that myself too, and I will reverse that opinion now. Watching him more.
Yeah, so I think that in the last couple of years, his play has kind of solidified that on his own, on any team, he's going to be a superstar player.
I would think so. You know what? I think he's the kind of player that would be a superstar on any team, where some other players might not be. You just never know what happens when they switch. Like, I'm thinking about like Pettersson in Vancouver. I mean, he was a superstar. He's not right now. He's just not good enough, not producing enough. And if he went somewhere else, would he rise or fall? It's a different question. I mean, he's not as good as Draisaitl. 4 seconds for Lethal Weapon to get a bid, and it does, and pushes it into the 1-minute windows, where we're going with all 4 of the cards that do remain. 1-minute windows now, everybody. You got to get your bids in. You got to be fast if you're bidding. The professor says picked up the Korea. Yeah, good, very good one, Professor. That's I think that was a steal, by the way. Kareem Pie says Draisaitl has been good all year, last several years. Ali says Draisaitl had the tying goal disallowed last night. Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember watching that, and because I had an assist in my fantasy, I had McDavid in my fantasy. Yeah, Michael calls out Makar as I did. Kareem Pies, I'm a Lightning season ticket holder. Draisaitl is much better than Kucherov. Thank you for that insight, Kareem. Kreutzer says Draisaitl has been so good defensively this year as well. He's this year's MVP for me so far. I'm going to put Dustin Wolf as the MVP right now, Kreutzer, but okay. I'm kidding, but okay. Kinger says Kucher is amazing. Okay, guys, we have 8 seconds here. We need a bid on Lethal Weapon or it's done. Let's see if we can come in with another late bid here. Everything else is going to the next 1 minute window. Looks like Lethal Weapon is over for the night. Sells for 336. Let's refresh and get them all in one view. And there we go. Our last 3 remaining cards of the night at 10. So Bobby was low on his estimation. The Champs Stanley Cup is now at 12,000 out the door with buyer's premium. So Bobby was low, but I think he'll take it as a win still because that was a big bid. The How is at 350. I love it. And 17 and a quarter now on the oil drop. Ali says Kucherov's points per game might be the highest right now. Bobby says we play for the Stanley Cup, and that card is historically sublime, anchoring our sport for the ages. No other cards are issued like this until decades later and in no other sport. Well said, Bobby. I think that does help its case a lot. Linda's first says Pasternak has put up some great numbers, basically playing without other superstars. Marchand and Bergeron are, okay, guys, all 3 might end right here within the first minute of the extended bidding. And it looks like they've all just ended, everybody. Let's let this thing turn over. The oil drop got a bit at the last moment. The Stanley Cup is sold for $12,000. The Gordie Howe 64 Topps Tall Boy PSA 5 sells for $420, and the oil drop is still going. But back to comments. Shannon says Leon gets the Malkin treatment. Agreed. Draisaitl shooting at 20% this year. Wow, says Brett. That's a great shooting percentage. Kreutzer says that Draisaitl always shoots high. 18.9 last year, 21.1, 19.8 in the years leading up. Much better. That's nonsense to Kareem Pies as far as Draisaitl over Kucherov. Kinger says, how about 2 Elias Petterssons on the Nucks now? Yeah, and they have a third Pettersson as well, just not Elias. 10 seconds. Oh, the drop is still going. It's got another bid. It's going to go into the next 1 minute window. Kareem says Kucherov is an elite offensive skill guy. He plays little defense and pouts a lot, gets lazy. And that might be why he's not is just as sexy as a player. 3 Petterssons in total on Vancouver. That's right. What happened there? Ali says Draisaitl should be a contender for the Selke. Brett says most recent Future Watch PSA 10 sales. And then he comes down here. McKinnon 12 and a quarter, Draisaitl 28.54. Who is undervalued? Oh yeah, maybe not Draisaitl. If McKinnon is selling for so much lower than Draisaitl, that's a good point right there, Brett. Glad you threw that stat out there. Ali Kreutzer agrees with Ali. He's been great defensively this year. Holy wow, that's right, Bobby. Sundin won the SP Game Use Spectrum. Johnny Gaudreau, congratulations, Sundin, on the pickup. 13 seconds on this auction, but we're on this card, this window, but we're going to the next one. Linda's first says Kucherov is the only player in the last 30 seasons to have back-to-back 30-plus point playoff seasons. That's interesting right there. Yeah, that's big in the last 30 years. You know, it's interesting, but I'm not that impressed by that, Michael, because of the back-to-back portion of it. I would be more curious how, I would like to see a ranking of players with the most 30-plus point playoff years. Did somebody get one every second year, for 10 years, every second year, 5 of those years? That to me is more impressive than back to back. Just means you made the playoffs and got far, which is a lot to do with the whole team. It's impressive, don't get me wrong, but the back-to-back piece doesn't impress me too much. Card Fuchsia says ESPN game notes for goals has to use a middle initial now for the Elias Petterssons. That's so funny. Are they really? Is that what they're doing? That's amazing.
Probably.
30 points is crazy because, right, you're really playing what? 24 games on average. If you're going all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, right? About 6 games per series. 4 series is 24 games. But you could be playing anywhere from 16 games to 28. So right in the middle there, it's about 22, I suppose. Still 30 points in 22 games is a lot. But so we're at 1925 now on the oil drop, and 27 seconds to get another bid. I feel like we're going to see another bid here. Kareem Pie says, in this lightning run, who do you think ends up being the best NHL player at their position? Stamkos, Kucherov, Vasilevsky, or Hedman? Oh, that's tough. I'm not going to go with. I don't think I'm going to go with Stamkos. I might go Hedman. I mean, it's kind of the least exciting, but I think I go Hedman there. Josh, do you have an opinion?
Who do you think ends up being the best NHL player at their position? Yeah, maybe Hedman. I think that's a good choice. That's
where I go. Kinger says, so 2 in a row is amazing, Jeremy. Yeah, I mean 30 points. It is, but I mean, we've had Gretzky and Lemieux in the playoffs, and Yari Curry and Paul Coffey and Yager and Ron Francis. Like, these guys are offensive players too. But this is what I find very interesting here from Kreutzer. A player has only had 30 or more playoff points 38 times. I thought it might have been more. So Draisaitl has 2 of them, maybe more. That's impressive, for sure. Gretzky had the most with 6 total, 3 consecutive. Guys, 6 seconds left here. We need a bid, or this is going to sell for $19.50 plus juice. Is someone going to get in a bid? Looks like it might be done. A hair under $2,400. $2,340 is what this sells for.
Wow.
That's kind of well over $3,000 Canadian at this point. Not well over, like $3,200 or so. Nice price for a mega patch out of Upper Deck Premier, but that's probably the best mega patch of that product. Oh, the CA die with the crazy hair is still going. Still going. Yeah. Well, that's it, guys. Those are the cards we were watching tonight. Tons of fun pieces there.
Oh, yeah.
Really interesting stuff. Yeah, a lot of fun. Thanks for all the conversation, guys, in the chat as well. Had a great time there. Lots of people on Instagram. Good showing on Twitter tonight. I haven't seen that commercial, Ali, in the Mass Mutual commercial. I'm not familiar with that. Are you, Josh?
No, I'm not.
DR says, feel free to skip this off-topic question. I was just wondering if you thought this North American tariff situation poses a risk to the hobby in any ways. I don't really. I mean, the tariff is on items going from Canada into the U.S. As far as I know, I don't know what tariffs Canada's putting in place on items coming from the U.S. into Canada. I know they're going to do something, but I think it's going to be focused on energy and stuff. So how many cards really go from Canada down to the States? From a manufacturing perspective, none. They're all manufactured south of the border. So I don't see any issue there. The issue is going to be on things like shipping costs and the cost of fuel. And there's going to be a lot of, I think, like side effects of other items being tariffed that will impact just the flow of goods over the border. But I don't know. I'm personally not that worried about it. If you're a Canadian, get a U.S. mailing address. There are hobby services that will offer that. Ship My Cards is one of them. They will offer you that. They will sit on those cards for you until you can bring it across the border or go down there and pick it up or meet them at a show in the States. They will do that as well. So there's that. If you're in the U.S., find a friend up here to find a way to meet at the expo or something like that to hand them off is a potential option, I suppose. But yeah, it's a really important question, Dylan. But I don't have the answers yet, personally. Brett says Josh is being stalked by a doggo. I don't know what that means. Oh, the doggo.
Kobe in the background.
So, yeah, your dog behind you. Brett up here says, Ship My Cards has saved me an absurd amount of money. So there you go. There you go. Thank you, Michael. Great night in the chat. Thank you, Jeremy, Josh, as well. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you, Michael, and just all you guys coming out night after night here. you know, I was on the air last night too. You guys were all around. I was on the air on Thursday night. You guys were all here, so it's always good to see you guys. I appreciate you being here and chit chatting with me and Josh and whoever else is on the screen with us. We did a 3.5 hour episode of Sports Cards Live last night. Had a blast. That was a lot of fun. Great guests coming through. Got an episode of the Gong Show dropping soon, Josh.
Yeah, 3 a.m. Central.
3 a.m. Central, guys. So I'll stay up till 2 a.m. my time to listen to that. I kid. But let's wrap it up. Josh, thank you. Chat.
Thank you.
Thank you guys as always. Next Sunday is the Super Bowl. So we're probably not going to do an episode. There's a slight chance. There's a slight chance, however, that I might jump on myself. I won't expect Josh to come, but here's a look ahead. All items next.
There's a huge
week,
McDavid in next week's action.
Next week, hockey. Let's have a look. And let's just sort by highest price so we can get a look at the real exciting stuff here. Is that the huge McDavid you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Autographed O-Pee-Chee Platinum Rookie at a 75, the red prism. Look at the 33 O-Pee-Chees in different colors. There's the Howie Morenz. It's a beauty. There's the Eddie Shore, one of the top, I think, to me, 3 key rookie cards of the pre-war, along with Morenz and Vezina. There's others, of course. There's Lalonde. There's Taylor. There's Art Ross. There's a lot, but I think this is a key one.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just scroll through and see what we got, because we're probably not going to do the show next week, guys. So apologies for that, but there's some exciting stuff, but I don't think we'll be here. Again, slight chance that, if the Super Bowl ends and I'm up for it, I'll jump on here and just cover what's been going on. One thing I want to point out, I noticed this earlier, there's a ton of these 1937 O-Pee-Chees. This one says altered authentic by PSA. They're all faded. The color is really faded on them. Like, look at this. These are faded. I don't know. It's really weird. I think they're faded. Like, I've never seen them so light before. But anyway, we'll stop right there, guys. Appreciate you all again. Thank you, Laura. Another great show from the J team. Speckled McCarr, Brett spotted that. Linda, hockey cards better than the Super Bowl. Thanks, Kinger. Thank you, Professor. Matt Leone, I used to subsidize shipping to U.S. addresses, but moving forward, I'm putting a 30% tariff on all my American eBay customers. Ooh. And thank you, anyone. If you use the Sports Cards Live affiliate code tonight, I'm very, very grateful for that support. Helps keep me here on Sunday nights with all of you guys. Kareem Pies, is there a young guy you'd buy now, or McDavid and the other guys dominate for the next 10 years? I'm all about Dustin Wolf right now for my Calgary Flames. Jeff McMahon, I'd rather watch Sports Cards Live than the Super Bowl. Good night, everyone. Good night, Jeff. Appreciate that. What breed is your dog, Josh?
A Cavapoo.
Say again?
Cavapoo.
Cavapoo?
Yeah, it's these designer poodle mixes, right? It's a King Charles Cavalier and poodle mix.
Got it. There you go, Ali. Thank you, Brett S. Thank you, Sundin. So many great cards in this auction and great commentary. Appreciate that very much. Kareem Pie says, Kaprizov is a beast, but does he have elite hobby upside?
Well, you better get healthy first.
I don't think he does. I don't think he has elite hobby upside. I think he has elite collector upside because he, as Josh has said many times, is the best thing to happen to the Minnesota Wild in their existence. I think that's true. He came into the league a little bit older. And he's in Minnesota, which you would expect to have a better hockey market because it's the land of 10,000 lakes. All they do is skate there on the ice on all those 10,000 lakes, but they haven't had a lot of players to get really excited about. And I think it would almost be better if there was if he had a line mate and then you could collect like both of them. Marc-Andre Fleury at the tail end of his career there. Like it's tough, isn't it, Josh?
Well, what amazes me about how good he is he has nobody helping him. You talk about, like we talked about guys that would be a superstar on any team. Kaprizov would be a superstar on any team because nobody here does anything to help him. And that's being a little dramatic, but I don't understand like why the Wild aren't in on the Mikko Rantanen thing or the JT Miller. It's like in 25 years we haven't had a player this good. This is the time to help him. and
Right.
bring somebody in that's going to actually make life a little easier for him too.
For sure. For sure. Agreed. Okay. Thanks again, everybody. Josh has got the pods dropping twice a week. I'll be back on Saturday with an episode of Sports Cards Live, and probably not on Sunday. And with that, guys, thank you for joining us. But this episode of the Fanatics Collect Weekly Hockey Auction and Watch Party here on Feb 2, 2025 is now
Over.
over. Good night.